what we see next in the portfolio is the balance of, I guess, that exploration activity. Some is operated and some we have through new investment companies such as Fidelity Minerals in Peru. So they've got a very active gold exploration program underway now. So yeah, look for Lions Bay Capital in South Africa, Fidelity Minerals, out in Peru, and hopefully we'll do some drilling on our own operated blocks in the US around the uranium and gold plays we have there.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Daniel Mailing, the Managing Director of Metals One. Daniel, great to speak with you again. You've called 2025 transformational, raising over £15 million and also pivoting hard towards gold and uranium. What were the defining moments?
Well, look, we listed back in sort of 2023 on the back of, I guess, Scandinavian nickel as a thematic. We had some success with a drill bit across our Black Schist project, but the market didn't seem to take much interest, and we felt a little bit unloved. And I think it's fair to say that the nickel market, we've all had to sit back and take a longer term view on that. So, the board made a conscious decision to, I guess, pivot into new areas such as gold and uranium, as we've touched on. And to do that, we needed to arrange the financing ahead of time to access these projects. So we've taken a bit of a write down and impairment to our Black Schist projects, which is the nickel base, but you're seeing the balance sheet move significantly into what we feel is more tangible gold and uranium projects.
I mean, as you say, you took impairment charges on the Northern European nickel projects. What drove those write-downs, and what does it say about how you're prioritizing the portfolio?
Look, when we did the PEA on the Black Schist project a couple of years ago, the nickel pricing forward curve looks a little bit different than it is today. And I think on the basis of the initial results on the PEA, we were comfortable, maintaining and holding a balance sheet value around those projects. The reality is now, unless we see an uptick in the nickel price in the coming years, we'll hold those projects for minimal cost and optionality. And we do have significant upside and leverage to nickel if the price does improve. But as it stands now, those projects are probably viewed as uneconomic, notwithstanding there is a reserve and resource in place. So where we see, I guess, the pivot in the focus is into things that, I think we're more tangible and closer to production, as we're seeing in our projects in South Africa. That's where we want our balance sheet to focus on going forward. And yeah, there is some earlier stage exploration at play with our uranium claims in the US.
I mean, how quickly could those uranium claims move forward, do you think, Dan?
Look, we've got this great arrangement with DISA, who've got their proprietary technology for waste recovery, and basically a revenue sharing arrangement with DISA. So look, it's going to take probably 6 to 12 months for those guys to go in there and firm up, the contained uranium values in those waste dumps. But potentially it's a 12-month revenue sharing type arrangement for us. So we're excited to get an update from DISA on those activities shortly.
With that stronger balance sheet and a more focused portfolio, what should investors be watching for this year, Daniel?
Look, we've ended a pretty significant transaction with Lions Bay Capital around the South African gold and power play we have in place there. Hopefully we're concluding that over the next quarter, which will see those assets reversed into the TSX listed company, and we'll be a significant shareholder in that. And also, what we see next in the portfolio is the balance of, I guess, that exploration activity. Some is operated and some we have through new investment companies such as Fidelity Minerals in Peru. So they've got a very active gold exploration program underway now. So yeah, look for Lions Bay Capital in South Africa, Fidelity Minerals, out in Peru, and hopefully we'll do some drilling on our own operated blocks in the US around the uranium and gold plays we have there.
Daniel, I hope you'll continue to keep us updated with your progress. Thank you very much for your time today.
Will do. Thanks, Stephen. Cheers.
Daniel Mailing, the Managing Director of Metals One.